What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. Welcome back to another episode of Scrim School. How are you all? Thank you so much, Finkle. Good to see you. Let me get some shout outs, please, real quick, for Knitehawk and for Finkle. The two guests this evening, I am super excited about this. I am seriously looking forward to it. Zero, thank you so much, brother. For those of you that don't know me, I am Bobby Socks. I am the host of the Rise Up GG Scrim School. We do this weekly, every Wednesday night. We have two guests every week. It's a lot of fun. So the first hour-ish is chatting with the two guests, getting to know them as PvP players, that sort of thing. And then hour two-ish is diving into practical scrims. And if there's anybody in chat that wants to learn scrims from these people, wants to learn how to play scrims, 3v3 rules, things like that, you jump in, we cycle through every round. The map of the week is Jab, which is kind of cool that we're seeing right now on Finkle screen.
Another one.
And yeah, we cycle everybody in. It's free, safe, positive environment just to be able to learn loadouts, learn lanes, learn how to push together, things like that. So let me pull them into the Discord. I need to tell them to join Jen so I can pull them in. All right. Sweet. We got Knitehawk in here. Mr. Knitehawk, what is going down, brother?
Another one.
You're muted. I don't know if you're... Oh, I'm dumb. I am super big brained. I was saying hi, but I forgot to drop into the channel. What's up?
I was about to say, I think I heard you on.
Yeah, I was definitely chatting. All right, Finkle said she is running a little behind. She said she'll be right in there. So let's start with you. Knitehawk, who are you? What do you do? What makes you tick? What's your fancy?
This is like therapy. All right. So I'm Knitehawk. I've been playing Destiny for as long as Destiny has been out. Definitely a PvP sweat lord without the toxicity. Right now, I guess like controller sniping is by far the number one thing that makes me tick.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Controller sniping, always fun, always fun. I'm a controller scrub too, so I can't really say much about it. So what got you into Destiny? Like, when did you start? How long ago did you pick this up and never put it down?
So I guess like it was when I was in college too. So everyone knows how college is, like fun's super tight. But Destiny was coming out, big Halo player, semi-pro in Halo, and Bungie created this new IP, this new game. So I had to grab it while I was in college. When I released, played it. I absolutely loved it because it felt like a Halo, like MMO RPG style. And I was stoked. So I really played World of Warcraft back in. I got it, and then just from there on, I've been playing Destiny ever since launch. I took a break from it because like D2 kind of just wasn't in PvP scene, and they were more focused on PvE. It kind of drove me away for about a year and a half. But then I came back and kind of understood the game as a whole a lot more, and more than happy like being a part of the Destiny.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel that wholeheartedly. This community just always seems to drag us back in, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you can't stay away. It's like once you're in there, even if you leave, it's just like a little vacation.
Yep. It's a sabbatical for a little bit.
Yep.
And we'd like to welcome in Finkle as well. How are you? What is going down?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Do you two know each other?
Not really. I know who Knitehawk is, but I don't think I've ever spoken to you. So
I've been 3-tapped by you in trials before.
Oh.
That's perfect. That's
Well, yeah,
that's part of this.
a...
So I ask the guests every week, have you ever played with this person before? Whoever the guests are, I always ask, have you ever played with this person before? Because part of this is for the chat to get to know each other and get to know the guests of the week. The other part is for the guests to get to know each other and hopefully at some point foster a relationship so that they can play more. It worked really well with Noise Tank and Nina when we had them on, and Nina started playing with the Scrim Queens a lot more because of it. So
Yes.
not gonna dust my own shoulders on that one a little bit, but I may have cinched those two together. All right, so Knitehawk did his intro. Finkle, who are you? What do you do? What makes you tick? What
makes
do you
me
enjoy?
tick? Okay, so basically in the Destiny scene, I never played Destiny 1. I came into Destiny 2 on Xbox probably about 1.5 to 2 years ago. I didn't really take PvP seriously until about 6 months ago. I did move at cross save to MNK and PC. I've been doing MNK actually since about like March, but yeah, for the past 6 months, I've really gotten into the Scrim Queens came up, I believe, in like June, and I've played Face It. I try to do a lot of pickups, and competitive is basically what's super fun for me at this point. So that's definitely at the place that I'm at with the game.
That's awesome, actually. You picked this up. I feel like a trash can now. You picked this up in D2. I'm gonna go hide my 3,000 hours.
Wait. Yeah.
You're insane for that short amount of time. Like, I'm kind of excited
Thank
now
you.
to ask some questions because I'm hoping that chat really goes and checks you out after this and sees how nutty you are. Because I seem to remember me jumping into a game with you after Scrim Queens last week and just getting bullied.
Yeah, I remember. I kind of felt a little bad for that one. It was just the one game. It was just the one.
Yeah, I was full send, no sleep. I was like, yeah, we got this. I should at least get, 10, 20.
No.
Nope.
Nope,
got
couldn't
bullied.
let you do that.
I got straight bullied. All right, cool. So if you're not aware of what Scrim School is, guess. The first hour and a half or so is me asking questions, relative questions of the game, relative questions of state of the game, things you're looking forward to. 150 to answer your question, Nova. I'll answer that one right away. It's kind of like things we'd like to see going forward, things we really enjoy currently. And then we follow it up with chat asking questions as well. And then we move into the practical portion, which is on Jav. And we're going to hopefully pick up some people from chat. I'm hoping we can pick up some newer players, give them an opportunity to learn. If we get some newer players in here, I'm going to split you guys up. And then we'll have one of you on each team to explain, kind of the Scrim rules, Scrim styles, how things move around, stuff like that, and teach. If we don't have any newer players that want to hop in, and then we have my normal sweaty gamers that like to jump in, then we'll stick to a team and we'll run some pickups so people that can see it.
Okay.
Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, it does. It sounds good.
Cool. So, let's start it out. What's your guys' mains? What class do you like? What subclasses do you like? What do you think is good to play right now in the state of the game?
Knitehawk, you go first.
Oh, okay. I'm a Hunter main through and through, even though in D1 I was a Sticky Nade Warlock for Xbox. But Hunter Spectral sniping, obviously with sniping, having the Hunter Spectral is really nice. Now, if you're a Warlock main, if you're not running Top Tree Dawn in PvP, especially Trials or Sweats, you kind of have to this point. I have my own opinions about Top Tree Dawn. I think that's kind of like the main Warlock right now, but I always Hunter main as long as it doesn't.
So, funny enough, I will not run Top Dawn.
Another one.
I run I'll run Stormcaller with the arc web nades because they are fantastic.
Oh, those are so nice, especially if you can like get it perfectly down wherever you get it back.
Yep, and they jump back and forth and chain to themselves. It's pretty baller. I had to teach myself Warlock because I keep picking up people for Scrim School. They're all hunters. And one of the rules is you can't have 3 hunters on the same team, so
Right.
I had to learn. Finkle, what you got? What's your character?
So Ever since I started playing, back when I said I started on Xbox, I've always mained Hunter. I just got into like actually trying out Titan and Warlock probably only within the past 9 months, like since the beginning of the year. So I, like Knitehawk said, I cannot use any other class on Warlock besides Top Tree Dawn because the movement is terrible. For me, I can't do it. The Hunter thing, so I usually do Arc Staff on Hunter with Dragon Shadows if I'm sniping or Stompies if I'm shottying.
Okay.
But yeah, Hunter is basically easiest for me. Top Tree Dawn sniping is something I'm getting used to at the moment. And I think that's what a lot of tourney players use when they're sniping. Top Tree Dawn is the go-to. Don't really like the super. I can't use it. I'm really bad with the movement, even though it does have the Icarus. But Titan's kind of for me. But some people are really good with it. So yeah, it's definitely Hunter main all the way, though, for me.
Okay. I like it. All right. So you're both Hunter mains. Let's address buff and nerfs real quick. What right now do you think needs a buff on Hunters, and what do you think needs a nerf, and why?
You want to go first?
I'm gonna have to think about that, actually.
I'm hitting them with the hard questions right out the gate.
Hunters are hard. This like I don't feel like there's any crazy.
Yeah, I feel like Hunters are the one class in the game that not a lot of stupid stuff happens with it. Like, the abilities are good, but they're not crazy. I don't really know. As far as supers, Blade Barrage, they have completely ruined, in my opinion. I feel like it was a lot better before. Not really. People, if they use Solar, they definitely use Goldie for the most part. It is a good shutdown super, but for some reason, every time I use Blade, it never hits where I'm aiming, and I hate it. I know they changed it a while back, but as far as making something not as good, I don't feel like there's anything, unless I'm not thinking of something.
I can think of a couple, but I want to hear your guys' answers first.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say, though, because I, for the most part, think Hunter is pretty even and not too overpowered.
Yeah, I might be biased, but like I think the same thing. I just don't think anything's too crazy except maybe like Whirlwind Blade. Like I don't feel like you lose enough super when you use it, especially taking damage through it. But other than that, I really don't see any.
Interesting.
The Whirlwind super, for some reason, I've been using it like the past month, and something about it, it's so buggy because I'll be spinning when people are shooting at me and then I'll just die. Like, while I've gotten, the other day we played Trials, I think it was when it was on Convergence. I got sniped out of my super while I was twirling and he was right in front of me, and it's like been super, super bad for me ever since. It's like a 50-50 chance of me dying while I'm getting shot and spinning.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty it's always been buggy. It's always been super buggy. You'll get half the time you'll shoot a Nova Bomb back, the other half it'll just die to the Architects.
Yeah. I swear every single time I die in that super, it's to the Architects.
Yep, exactly. So for me, let me preface this with I've been playing Hunter for 1,800 hours. Like, I've invested a ton of time in my Hunter. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, Spectral Blade still lasts way too long.
I will agree with that.
That's the negative with it, is Spectral Blades last way too long. And Bottom Tree Arc Staff's dodge is nutty. Those are my two that I'm not a big fan of. I think Hit Reg on Arc Staff and Spectral Blades need a ton of love, though.
Yes, they really do. Spec for me, like, I've only heard people whiffing their specs. I've never had that much of an issue with it. But Arc Staff is terrible for swiping and not killing right away.
I mean, I definitely, I had a stream one morning where we were playing comp, and a Titan jumped in the air, and I was in my spec, and I light attack heavied him, and I pushed him, and then I continued to heavy him 4 more times until I pushed him off the map. But I got the hit marker like he died every single time I pushed him. It made the sound like I killed him and he's still in the air, and then I pushed him again and it made the sound like I killed him, he was still in the air. It happened 4 times in a row. Like, it was bad. It was real bad. And that happens fairly often. I don't know if it's a controller thing versus...
Yeah, it's a controller.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of MK players that like they'll whiff, but they don't whiff like we do. Like I do that all the time. I'll swipe someone 6 times, and he just keeps pushing them, and it like looks like it's doing damage, but absolutely like zero. It just seems like it's just a controller registration issue with that server. Not really.
Yeah, I figured it was probably a controller issue for sure. Let me tell chat, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in chat, and we will we'll ask them. Or we'll ask them out loud, or if it's just make sure to direct who it's to. That way they can answer it. All right.
Okay.
Not that one. Zero, can you delete that, please? To be fair, he asked if Knitehawk had one first.
He asked if I had one too. So.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I never goes back to it. Yeah.
And I have an OnlyFans command. So
Okay.
It's the running joke. However, we need to be a little bit more passive with that. We do have a little bit of diversity in the Scrim School tonight. Control a little bit, please. How cute is Ramsey?
Ooh, that's like a 25 right there. Let's go 1 to 10. Easy
25. All right, let's actually either ask real Scrim PvP questions, or I'll just continue with mine. My chat's a bunch of just heathens. I'm sorry. Ramsey's 1,000. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so Finkle, you did not play D1, so this question won't apply to you as much. But
Okay.
Knitehawk, what weapon would you like to see come back from D1 pre-nerf? Same stats.
Mida. I want Mida pre-nerf D1.
Okay.
Mida pre-nerf D1 was one of the only guns that you can contest snipers with. And as soon as all they did was take away high count and ruined it. That was the only thing that made the gun viable, right? Because flinch people off of it, and they would have to fight through the flinch to kill you. But it was just so clean. Forward tapping with a Mida while everyone else is trying to snipe you and like early D1.
Yep. Yeah.
But
I mean, Mida was amazing back then.
Yeah.
It really was. I think for the memes, this is my favorite answer. I want Necrochasm back.
Ooh.
Free nerf Necrochasm was worse than Laser Tag Weekend.
I get
it. Yeah. A comparison, Finkle.
It was so much fun though when people like exploded. It was.
Yeah, it was hilarious. That first week before they nerfed it, the PvP was unplayable.
It was pretty bad, but it was fun. Like things like that. Even though it's frustrating, it's always fun. Like because they usually fix it. Like Laser Tag Weekend was kind of weird, but I thought it was fun in the gist of things. A lot of people got upset about it, but like it's not like it was an always thing. It was a win.
Yep, exactly. And then I think non-memeing weapon, I want No Land Beyond back for sure.
I've talked to so many people about like NLB, and
I used it so much. It's a scout rifle with sniper rifle damage. I used the shit out of it.
Like it'd be fantastic. It's just so hard to bring a weapon like that into what we have, with all the other like issues and whatever. That gun that's something I wish would stay, and I wish like Bungie would just incorporate everything you unlock before. Like, you're always gonna have it, but it'd be sunsetted like just kept as a collection.
Okay.
Instead of it like disappearing, have it. I want all my D1 weapons. Like I earned them. Like I want to have them in my vault or in my collection as a whole in the Destiny.
I 100% agree. I really do. I either ran with No Land Beyond, or I ran with the Hard Defiance of Yasmin sniper rifle.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
Yeah, it was pretty filthy. I mean, that thing itself was, it was the Halo sniper rifle is really what it was. It was amazing. I loved that thing. But let's roll it back to D2. That way we can keep Finkle involved as well. What is your favorite game mode right now, and why? Like, if you could have anything to just queue into to relax and vibe, what's your favorite and why?
I want to say quick play, but at the same time, I don't. That's a really hard question because I do play quick play when I'm just trying to chill, but usually it turns into more than just a chill experience. Like I said earlier, I like doing pickups and rumbles in private matches. I feel like that's the most chill thing to do, just with people I know.
Sure.
Quick play is all over the place to me, but it's still fun sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, scrims and pickups is a perfectly viable answer as well. It really is. I enjoy the hell out of pickups. That is my go-to. If I'm not doing comp help, pickups is where I'm at. It's I like quick play to a degree. I hate meta. And we'll get into that.
Yeah, the meta is what's ruining quick play right now at the moment.
100%. Yeah. Anchor, I said we could throw some questions in as long as they were pertinent to what the conversation was. Appreciate you. So, Knitehawk, what you got? What's your favorite play mode? It doesn't have to be PvP. What is your favorite thing to do to relax and vibe?
It's definitely PvP.
Okay.
Not that I don't, I don't mind PvP, but like I have the most fun, regardless if I'm being or not. But it's trials. Like, even with like all the nonsense that does happen, if there's a good vibe going on in trials, I have the most fun doing it. Regardless, I enjoy trials like as a whole. Like, I don't know how many hours I have in, or even in D2. Trials is just something I always enjoy, regardless of like what I'm doing.
I feel that. I really do. I want trials to be good. I want it to be good so bad. So bad. Again, it's the meta. I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to this weekend, since some special gamers caught some big bans. I'm a little excited about it.
Yeah, I'm still like on the edge about it, only because like, even though the one thing those players still have access to the thing for another month, so that's why I'm excited to happen regardless. So I know there's still going to be there
with that. Bungie putting out an update yesterday,
right,
effectively made the current systems useless.
Oh, that's
because the way coding works is you have to be running on the same version on both platforms. So anytime Bungie put out an update, those sites had to also put out an update to match the current version. If you don't put up an update to that version, you have a null and void system, which could open you up to viruses. It could open you up to lag spikes, trippy things that alert and stuff like that, so you're not as hidden about it. It's one of those things where it's like, it's unusable after an update.
Okay, so that means like most of those probably. It's just all the other.
I mean, I can tell you that me and Fizz, the Fizzle, ran comp for at least 16 hours together through both of us, and I don't think we matched any. I don't think we matched any.
That's what I heard. So between like yesterday and today, like I even played today for like 3 hours. I didn't see any, or even like suspect any.
Yeah, I didn't either, which was wild.
Pretty. Yeah. So this weekend will be a true test.
No, 100%. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I jumped in the night before the update pushed out, and we had some fun, for sure. All right, let me ask this question. This is Nova's question, real quick. He says, "How do I get better on the sticks, and get better than PC players?" Wait, hold up. Let me scroll up because that's World's trolling too. How do I get better on controller? I use Kovac for M&K, but I don't know how you approve besides playing in general. So he's asking, how can you be able to switch between the two of them?
If you're already on M&K, there's really no reason to switch. if you're trying to play any form of like FPS or competitive, there's no reason to switch down. And I don't mean to say like controller is a downgrade, but moving from like playability, very than controller, I believe both have their good player.
Yep.
Like that's just the truth. There's like I wouldn't even don't take the time to learn controller. Just keep sticking with it, especially if you've never used it.
Right, exactly. So what keeps you on controller? Actually, that's a great question too.
Just years. Like I came from, I was an assigned Apex Pro controller. That was the first. I've always stayed on. It's comfortable for me. I don't gotta really think about like what I'm doing. I've done it for so long. It's just on play claw, so I'm super.
Sure.
And that's the only. So I play other games. Like I played Hyperscape, Valorant. Play all those. Like playing Destiny, playing Halo. Else
Right. I don't know why your mic's chopping out for me a little bit.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
It's skipping a little bit. But it's like a quick skip, so I'm able to kind of pick up. What's going
okay.
on. So
that's my bit.
With playing controller, what's your settings? Do you run? What do you run?
I run 10 cent subtraction, so I run max. I wish there was more sense like COD has it. Fortunately, that's not an option, so I run max, which is 10 cent subtraction.
All right, and then let's flip that question a little bit. For those that are on controller currently and wanting to switch to M&K, Finkle, what got you so cracked so fast? For lack of a better term.
Okay, so I say that I moved to M&K around March, but right when I moved to Cross Save, I've been on controller for a really, really long time with other games and stuff, but I wasn't as good as other controller players, I guess you could say, and shoddying on controller was just not fun for me. So I decided I was gonna move, and how I did it, every time I did PvE, I would do M&K. It really took a lot for me to swap to get comfortable with M&K. But I just slowly kind of eased into it, and shoddying came naturally. You just have to play more, basically. And with sniping, for some odd reason, I could not snipe on M&K until I started playing Tile Frenzy on Kovacs. After I started doing that, for some reason, I started hitting snipes. I have no clue why. I know people say Kovacs doesn't really help that much for aim, but for me, it did.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that support Kovacs and they say it works. I know Nova in chat, before we start playing in the morning, he's like, I'm doing some Tile Frenzy. Like while we're waiting to queue into a game.
It's just like, it definitely helps, I feel like, with reaction time. Like I feel like aim lab is a lot better for aim, especially on M&K when you're trying to move, but Kovacs is definitely, reaction time is a big part of playing, so that definitely helped me out a ton. Other than that, I feel like watching M&K players, the movement is really, really different too when you get on M&K, because you can obviously move a lot faster, you can turn a lot faster and everything. So just watching really good players play, and then jumping into the game and kind of trying to use the same strats that they do, and like playing your life and just everything like that. It definitely took a lot of time, but I can say I'm like 100% comfortable on M&K now. And I still do have improvements to make, but yeah, it took a lot for sure.
You definitely, I expected you to say you've been playing since like year one, day one. I'm not gonna lie, the way we played and people watching, like people in chat that watched, it's impressive for sure.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting to hear that you tell, like, you know, you chew G-subs straight, no water or something.
Oh no, I do drink stuff like that, but I don't think that helps that much. I don't know.
All right, let's talk state of the game. How do you guys feel about the whole stasis stuff? We started to get some teasers, things we're looking into, some exotics that are coming. Are you still gonna stay maining as a hunter, or are you gonna start branching out?
I feel like it's just gonna be like I'll dabble in everything, but I'm not sure until I actually play with it. I think I'm still gonna be a hunter main, honestly, after everything comes out.
I feel that. I mean, Hunter Blink is still gonna be. We're gonna have Blink back, and
I'm
as
so
a
stoked for
non-D1, I'm so hyped to have a Blink back. I'm not gonna lie. But what you got, Knitehawk?
Honestly, the same. Like, I'm gonna try everything. I still think Hunter is probably gonna have like the most like mobility, and the fact that we can blink. I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of like you blink out, you can't fire. Our radar is gonna be off like in D1.
Yep.
But I still think blink is gonna be a big factor. Honest, the blink is just it's supposed to like replace your shade step. So it's gonna be interesting like how it works as a whole, but I think it's still gonna like most of the way through.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It replaces, from what it sounds though, it sounds like it's going to be just a lateral. You won't be able to blink up like we were able to in D1.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna be able to blink forward or back. I don't know if it works left or right.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, that.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, is what it sounds like.
Shut up and take my money.
But
Shut up and take
you
my
know,
money.
no matter how much I'm really excited to
Shut up and take my
have
money.
that, I'm more excited for the Necromancer Warlock. I hate to say it, and I want to know if it works on ranged melee, but a Thorn AoE damage through your melee is going to be insane. I think it's going to be so incredibly broken. I really do.
I wonder if that would stack like on
I
like
was
a
wondering the
burning
same thing.
melee or like.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. If it stacks, I want to know if it'll stack with something like Celestial Fire.
Shut up and take my
If
money.
you can throw Celestial Fire, and then you get AoE Thorn damage,
Shut up
like
and take my money.
that could be so toxic.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, because you can keep someone like out of your like play that you're about to for like a hot second.
Mhm.
That'd be interesting.
Not only that, but what if you get the burn damage from Necro, and you're running a Thorn? Does that stack too?
Yeah, how many DOT stack, or even if they allow it?
That's a great question. I mean, we can stack, as of right now, you can stack Malfeasance bolts.
Shut up and take my money.
Right.
You know what I
Shut up
mean?
and take my money.
Dang.
Shut up and take
There's
my
so
money.
many like.
Shut
I
up
hope-
and take my money.
I hope it doesn't hurt as much as it sounds like.
It sounds like it's going to be pretty rough, for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely
Shut up
does.
and take my
And then
money.
Titans with their
Shut up and take my money.
overshield, they're becoming literal tanks instead of dropping the shield.
No. I am worried about that part. I don't know about that one.
Right.
It just seems like everything's gonna be super overpowered right
Mhm.
when they drop the update, but they're probably just gonna do what they always do and make it so that everything's not as good at some point, unless it's not going to live up to the expectations that everyone is assuming, which
Mhm.
I feel like it is. I don't know. Everything's gonna be broken. I want it to be just for the fun of it for a little while. But
Right. For a little while, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun in that regard anyway. I do think the Titans are going to be nutty with that overshield. It's like a walking one-eyed mask, and if you stack it right, you can just literally power through people. All right, so let's talk metas. What do you think Bungie's going to make as their meta for next season? Because they kind of pick one every single time, you know?
So what was it before this season? What was the meta? I do not remember. Because we have autos.
Pulses?
What did you say?
I think it was pulses.
Pulses. I really hope that they steer away from the autos, but for some reason I feel like they're gonna keep autos in the meta. just because a lot of players that are new to the game, it's very easy to use. I feel like they're gonna leave that. Maybe they'll make it a little bit better, like or not as good, but I feel like it's still gonna be up there. As far as other metas, I have no clue what they're gonna go to. Not sure. I hope that maybe 140s can come back somehow. And I don't know what they would do with it. I know some people
I'm
still
breaking
use
things.
them and it's not that different, but...
Oh my lord, what is going on? Sorry, I'm breaking everything right now on stream. I tried to turn off alerts and instead everything's like, nope, you're gonna panic. Sorry, we're working on this. We'll figure this out, don't worry. Alright, we're good. We're back. We figured this out right now. Alright, back to metas. What are you looking forward to? I know they announced 110s are getting a buff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, look clear.
I went scout rifles. Suck. Even though I don't use them that often, I feel like they're kind of just not used at all.
Yeah,
Like I wish
100%.
everything was in a perfect balance.
I agree. I think so. Here's my thought on the current balance, and then you guys can share into it. I think it would have been a little better if they had buffed 450s, not 600s, because it's a little more niche, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
600s are a little too readily available versus like a 450, or even if we go slower, you know. I think that would make it a little bit more balanced. But I totally agree with Knitehawk. I would love to see a scout meta. I would.
Problem is they give autos away too much. Like there's no damage fall off.
Mm-hmm.
There's no range fall off. Like if they're gonna do autos the way they do, I want autos to be good, but they need to do it like Halo autos, where it's only good like close to maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because like being able to snipe with like a summoner or whatever, rough.
Yep, exactly. It's the damage fall off is its own beast, for sure. And my only concern with having a scout meta is that gonna cause more camping? Are people gonna sit in the
Probably,
back?
but like then you just rush at them and beat them up. I
You
guess
just
that's just
rush.
my thought process. Like if they want to camp, like I'll counter my way to them and just jump on them.
I'm surprised you didn't say you wanted a hand cannon meta.
It's been hand cannon meta like almost all through the had it still kind of like still hand cannon meta because that's what everyone like uses and sweats trial stacks.
Yep.
I don't know. I want the majority of the player base to have more fun because that's how you get more people playing. Right? Like the 1%, you know, we're kind of always gonna we'll get frustrated, but we're not really gonna go anywhere. But they're losing everybody else, and when everyone else is gone, it's just the 1% fighting each other in trials. And it's not really
how right you are there.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Questions are open. We can open up questions too. I didn't tell Anchor that we were allowing questions throughout. But yeah, go ahead and ask some questions. We'll jump back in. Your statement about the 1% getting frustrated and not going anywhere, I think that's gonna be the quote of the night. Because we still do
It's
this
so
game up.
true. It's so true, though.
Yep. We hit the controller and M&K conversation earlier, but Leclerc says this is for Knitehawk. What does he think about controllers?
disgusting. Get them out.
Disgusting. Get rid of them. Hate them. They're the worst. So my thought on that we should actually touch back a little bit on is I think that the whole controller and M&K argument is silly. We want to keep as many people playing as possible. More people playing means more people in the ecosystem. More people in the ecosystem means more people in PvP, which means more clip hitting for them clip hitters, more diversity in you know, harder playlists, things like that. I think there's some things that need to be kind of fine-tuned between each of them. Really, I think controllers need to lose a little bit of their aim assist and gain some mobility, and then they would be a lot more balanced. But that's me.
I think you're right. The aim assist is a bit high. It is a casual game though, too, which I always have. But like they could literally just copy the same sense that like Apex has a really low aim assist, and it only works if you're like face to face with. So I kind of wish it was a lot lower because any decent or good controller player can to having lower aim assist.
Mm-hmm.
So and it makes it less worryable on M&K players, so they don't get like hit by like Jim Bob 42 across the map just because it's stuck to them.
Across the map, 4 feet from the side of his head.
Yeah.
I'm in the general area. We hit this. We hit those.
Yeah, that's right.
I know there's definitely been a couple shots where I've hit and I've stopped and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no way. There really is. And I, as much as I hate to say it, I think Bungie had the right idea with giving controllers a little bit more aim assist to balance out the movement. Because I mean, it's kind of, if you're sniping, it's kind of hard to compete with somebody that can jump up above you, flip a 520, and then shotgun you in the head as you win. You know? You can't compete with that when you're trying to look up still.
I do actually agree with that as well, because I know I'm on M&K, but a lot of people have a huge frustration with controllers, but there's literally give and take for both. I mean, yes, controllers get aim assist, but like you said, the movement and everything, it's just, I feel like it weighs out a little bit. Controller sniping is broken in my opinion, but it's still an input. It's honestly, it's not like if you put a really good controller player against an M&K player that's sniping, you can't say like, oh, the controller player is going to win every single time. It's just a different way to play. And I have had frustrations with controllers in the past, but it's like there's literally no reason to have that, because people that play on controller, they started on controller, that's what they're good at. It's an option for the game. There's not any reason to get mad at someone for that. Like, controllers are, I feel like they're balanced. I know that's like probably gonna be super contradicting for some people, but after playing on M&K and seeing, I think they're balanced.
Huh. I like that. I do like that. That's the first time since we started this that an M&K player has said that. Mikey, what you got? I'll pause for a sec. I have a statement to make. Listen, I think he really wants to share. Type. Replace special for heavy. What do you mean? Well, we're waiting on Mikey.
In quick play, I saw someone ask that earlier. That's probably what they mean.
In quick play, as in like
oh, like special boxes,
or even in like trials or whatever. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I feel like it makes the game fun though, having heavy at some places.
It does. It does.
And you have to make that a part of the game. If the heavy weapon is there, I mean, you have to make it like accessible in PvP and PvE.
Yep.
Or then it's just sitting there.
So how do you feel about going back to like maybe the D1 mentality where you had special boxes to pick up? You didn't start with it. You had to go pick up the box, and everybody pushed for the special. And it was a fighting zone, and then if you picked up your special, then the other team knew to run.
I just didn't feel like it worked, because like whoever went first engagement wins at least the next like 2 engagements, and then they just win the box. They hold special for the next box. And that's the only reason why. I know I did it. Like when we played on Asylum, I'd full send bottom and take the special, and then just run the team who doesn't have special.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly.
All right. Mikey typed his statement and then question, so we'll read it back. He says, it's not whether a high tier controller player can go 50-50 with a higher tier M&K. The question you need to ask is, would a below average controller player be able to keep up with an average M&K player? And is that balanced in your opinion?
No.
Okay. Just no.
That's me. That's me saying that. And I just said that they're balanced for the most part, so I guess it really depends. But I don't think that that's even at all saying like a below average controller player against an average M&K player. I don't really know how to explain it either. It's just
I guess
feel
the
like a
only way
below
that-
average.
yeah, it wouldn't work unless the controller player was not moving, he was sniping, and the MK player ran into every. That's the only way the controller player would win. I think in every other situation.
Yep, just ran the lane out.
Mhm.
Going back to the ammo economy real quick. I wanted to read that question off. I know we're jumping around a little bit. What if instead of being able to pick up special, you start with it, but that's what you got? You can't pick it up from killing an opponent, and you only get it when you res. What do you think in that mentality? So you start with 2 to 4, and those are your shots until you die.
But would
I
that
hate
be like one game mode? Like, 'cause if that's like in Control, right? Like that's it. You have a whole game of like no special. Like it's I don't know. It would take away a whole secondary weapon for
Yeah.
majority of the.
I mean, I'm sure they would have to rework it in like a quick play sense, but I mean in more competitive game modes, trials, comp, things like that. What if what you started with, kind of like what Icebreaker did, you couldn't pick up special ammo for Icebreaker. What you had is what you ran with, right? But every time you hit your shot, you got your bullet back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was one of the ones that I heard that was an interesting twist on it.
I think taking out scavenger and letting you like only pick up one bullet for each like brick would work too.
Mm-hmm.
Would make it like a lot more competitive in that sense. Because once you have 2 bullets, you can double body or you miss a shot, hit a headshot. But if you have that one bullet, that's it. You got to get the kill or you're done. Someone drops a brick.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I would much prefer getting like only one from scav most of the time, just because of like the double bodying thing as well.
Yep.
But the other thing that you said regarding like only having a certain amount of shots, yes, it would work in trials, but I've never really heard that idea from anybody either. I would not like that at all. I don't know, that's just me not having any special to pick up. I feel like it would be a little boring too.
I mean, it would
just
force a lot more primary play for sure.
That is true.
It would force primary play, and not only that, but it would make you kind of appreciate your special more.
I feel like it would make people camp for some reason.
I would just get autoed by a full team, like a full team of autos.
We're pretending that 600 autos aren't broken right now as you're running Suros on your screen. Yeah, we're pretending that 600s aren't broken. In a perfect world, and everything is balanced, and everything has its range and its purpose. All right. I like those ones. Those are actually really good ones. I do think special scav should go away. I think it messes with the economy for sure. Mr. Revoker and Trials player, why do people hate Revoker so much, and what would you fine tune to make it viable without ruining it?
I guess the biggest problem is the fact that it does like 40 to the body tap with any words. Like moving that down to beloved stats would be nice.
Okay.
And the missing the bullet thing, like if they turned it into sort of like Icebreaker where you have to hit a headshot to get your bullet back, sounds like it'd be a good idea. But then if you have someone who doesn't miss headshots, they're gonna have infinite ammo.
Right.
It would have to be one of those things where they could fix with only proc per life, to where you essentially could have 3 bullet, but that would be it. That would be getting a headshot. But I think that'd be better than the miss bullet thing, because you can still trick the system. You drag scope and shoot outside their hitbox and get a headshot and get your bullet back.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that does make sense, and I do get my bullet back a lot when I run it. A lot.
Happens all the time.
I'm like, oh, I got a collat and my bullet came back? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And
this is a win.
Definitely one of the biggest issues. It's because I use it all the time. And I hate when it happens.
You just know it's bad.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to do something to make it viable? in Beyond Light Beyond, because otherwise it gets sunset and then it can't be used in things like trials.
Yeah, so I think they're just gonna it
You think
and
so?
just never make it again instead of trying to like figure out that problem.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna see that again. Just like we won't ever see the Luna Tau perk again because of like how
Magnificent.
I wouldn't say it was easy. I feel like you had to be decent to like make it work in like a 1v situation.
Yep.
But we're not gonna because it was too OP for like the one. So like if Finkel was running Luna's house, little Jimmy who got off of school wouldn't be able to get a kill. It wouldn't be fair, even if he had the Tau too.
Mm-hmm. You mean the 180 days?
Yeah, one.
Oh, the 180 NF days. Oh Lord, that was a time for sure. That was back when hand cannons were viable. Like in every engagement. Finkel, what do you think to improve? Say if they made a Revoker for the future, what would you like to see on it versus what it has now to make it more balanced?
Definitely don't think, especially with the state of the cheaters and everything. I know they just got rid of perfect aim or whatever, but they still exist. So with getting your bullet back at a kill, I feel like if anything, it should be a chance of getting it back.
Kind of
I
like clown cartridge.
don't-
Kind of like clown cartridge.
If that's what that does. I've never really paid attention to that perk, but yeah, so getting a shot back on every kill for somebody that doesn't miss snipes, yeah, like either a really good player or if cheaters are still around, it's not a good idea in my opinion. But I don't know what they could do to Revoker to change it. I think that honestly, I used to be super annoyed with Revoker, but now it doesn't really bother me that much, other than shooting shields and getting your bullet back, which doesn't make sense to me at all. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's fine.
I gotta say, as a sweat player, you are very non-combative with the systems. It's
definitely
kinda-
changed recently.
Kinda refreshing.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, it's kind of free to hear an unbiased like, I hate it, get rid of it. You know.
Mm-hmm. And there are some times where I play players that have Revoker, and they just sit in the back of the map and they keep shooting their shots and getting it back. And yes, I get annoyed when they do that. But yeah, as a whole, I don't see a problem with Revoker. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's been more of a recent thing, probably because I've like learned that the more you play, I mean, there's ways to beat things in the game that are a little broken, I guess you could say. But I just like the game because of the diversity of it, so I feel like it's fine.
Good Lord. You hear that? She just became your best friend, Knitehawk.
No, someone who doesn't hate me. Perfect.
Right. All right, chat, if you have some questions, go ahead and ask. We are creeping up on the hour mark. We'll open it up for sure for chat. Throw your questions in there. While they are typing, what made you pick Jab, Hawk? What makes it your fave?
It was I kind of hated it this weekend. I want to be real. I hated it so much. But like, so if I had to like Jab would be my number 2, only because how like symmetrical it is, spawns and playing. Even though I hate it, top tree done.
Right.
It's definitely one of the most balanced maps. So I think that's probably why I like it the most, because you can definitely do different. Play inside, rocket, play outside. It's a bunch of different, as opposed to just you have mid.
Right. Finkel, what's your favorite map?
As far as scrims go, it was Dead Cliffs until recently. I can't explain why I don't like Dead Cliffs as much, but I would agree on Jav. Even though there's a lot of glitch spots that are kind of annoying, I just like Jav a lot. just the outside inside play. I feel like you don't get as much of that with Dead Cliffs. There's still, I don't know. It's basically on the edge of Jav and Dead Cliffs. I like the fact that there's long. I honestly can't explain it to you. I really can't. Something about Dead Cliffs has just made me like dislike it a lot lately.
See, I'm the opposite side of the spectrum. I have played so much Jav that it is one of my least favorite Scrim maps at this point.
I
Because that is the
understand
go-to
that.
for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're in Face It, the first map that gets voted in is Jav.
Yep.
Every
Literally
time.
every single Face It game, every single one is Jav, unless like the two captains talk to each other and we're like, oh, we want to play Burnout or Endless.
Yep, I'm bored
It's
with Jav.
always
Let's do-
it's
let's do-
always Jav. And the thing about Jav is like I love it for scrims, but I have always hated it as a trials map.
Mhm.
It does not play well for me. Dead Cliffs was amazing for a trials map for me. I did not have a problem all weekend other than obvious cheaters and stuff like that. But Javelin with trials is just, it was so bad. I did not have fun any weekend that they did it.
And
obviously it has something to do with
weekend.
the, like, you have one life, but
Yeah, I didn't even touch it this weekend. I really didn't.
yeah, I
was
barely
like, I was
did.
like, I'm running comp instead. This is where we're at.
Mhm.
I just could not do it, especially with the end of the perfect aim. And I know Ring didn't get cease and desisted, but it most definitely did get. I mean, it's going to get it, so they bumped up their price immensely. So it's not being used either. So I don't know. I think we are going to see a lot less of the cheaters going forward, but I definitely didn't want to play against Revoker campers with some Excel gaming, you know. that was a thing, to say the least.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good step forward. I'm excited to see where this leads into. I really am, because I think this is, so as somebody that's in tech, what Bungie did is very smart from two reasons. One, they hit the big ones first, which kind of scares the smaller guys away, right? And then two, if they couldn't figure out what the line of code was that Perfect Aim and Ring were using, they couldn't write a anti-cheat for it. So by cease and desisting them, then that makes it so that they don't have to write an anti-cheat for those. They can make the anti-cheat as a new baseline. It's kind of smart. Let me see. Comp earlier, biggest problem was triple Revoker ARs. Rewarding good aim was kind of why I like the Zen Meteor. I'm not really seeing very many questions. Chat's kind of quiet tonight.
It'll be on light. I think
Yeah.
it'll be less because of the player base like revamping. I don't think we'll see cheaters a lot.
I 100% agree. I mean, we're completely deleting the game and restarting it, so. Scrim. Everybody wants to run against you guys. That's pretty funny. I can already tell that my normal runners are first to hop in. I'm already seeing them go. Let's go. They do this every time. It was really funny when I had Red and Rezo on here last week. They were super excited to jump in, and we steamrolled them. I think 3 or 4 times, and they're like, all right, can we switch teams around now? I want to play with them. Let's talk scrims real quick, and then we will jump into the practical. So Finkle, you obviously play a ton of scrims. Do you have any specific role types that you run? Are you more of the aggressive type? Are you more of the passive type?
So starting when I did start out playing scrims, and I told you how I started Scrim Queens in June. That was basically it might have been a little bit before June, like May-ish, but that is when I started getting really comfortable with it. I started out playing super passive because I don't know how to explain it. I was just playing with my team, but as I played more, I always play passive at first with the team that I'm with, but it doesn't matter if I'm sniping or shotgunning. I like to be aggressive because I don't want to be someone who just sits back. I think that being aggressive is very important unless it's like a depending on a pick type situation, which sometimes it comes down to it in scrims, but it's mainly like towards the end of the game that happens. Yeah, so I definitely like the more aggressive. The passive play is really boring to me. I wouldn't be able to just sit back. So.
Right. I feel that. Knitehawk, what you got? Do you more the passive Overwatch, or are you more the in your face in scrims?
So I guess it really depends, like what team I'm with. I try the aggressive snipe as much as I can. I'll first pick a lane or anyone else if I can in Scrim. Then as soon as that pick is there, I'll full send with my. Before I used to be super passive, sit in the back and take off picks, but I'm so much more comfortable with my playstyle. I try to be as aggressive as I can, unless like Finkle says, like I gotta play for a pick for the team, and then we aggress after.
Which is part communication too. That's the big thing too. All right. Jackaroo says, since there are some people that like to body shot with Revoker and a couple other 72 RPMs in Empowering Rift, do you think it'd be a good idea to reduce the damage buff Empowering Rift gives in PvP?
I feel like they should just get rid of it.
I don't know why we even
because people don't use empowering. Well, I say get rid of it, but obviously you have to have that second option for scrims. That's not why they have to, but anyways.
I like the way you think. The only reason that Empowering Rift is around is because of scrims.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that Empowering Rifts seem good for is like the one-shotting. When people use it, they have to basically, and if they're using an Empowering Rift, they're just sitting there, and it's just, I don't like the idea of Empowering Rifts, but they do have to have something else there, so I wish they would come up with something else.
Right.
I'm not sure what, but I feel like Empowering Rifts don't need to be a thing at all. Maybe
I
in like in PvE situations, yes. But PvP, I don't know.
Okay. Knitehawk, what you got?
I have the exact same thought process. Like, because even in PvE, I've never used Empowering Rift or seen anyone use it. Like, the only people that use it are the people that body shot. Right?
Yep.
Or Scrim. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I see people use it for is if there's two warlocks on a team in scrims, and they put like the rifts in the same place, which is kind of broken, and they do that a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's like really cool to do that, I guess, but it's just, I don't see the point of Empowering Rifts other than I feel like the snipers that you can one hit with in Empowering Rifts, they just need to make it so that you can't do that, period. Like maybe just reduce the damage on snipers in Empowering Rifts.
I mean, you can one hit with more than just snipers in Empowering Rift. Bows can one hit.
Yeah, so everything that one hits, they need to do something about that. And I feel like it's still not that big of a problem. It just becomes annoying at a point.
Yep. I mean, I played True Vanguard's tourney, and the most annoying team we ever went against was a double bow and Empowering Rift team. It was his doubles tourney. It was obnoxious. Like, you peeked a lane, you were dead. And they just sat there and spam bow shots. They didn't have to do anything. And they were running Oath Keepers, and it was just a horrid playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like good players running Empowering Rifts with one-hittable weapons. That, I mean, they don't do that most of the time.
Well, that's more a pride thing than anything else, you know?
Yeah.
That's a pride thing. I mean, that's the same reason a lot of us run hand cannon and shotguns, even though we know what the meta is, you know? Is more pride than anything else.
That's true. It makes it a lot more fun when you use weapons like that too, for me. Like just the hand cannons and everything.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like it's the most balanced.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, they were Oathkeeper and Wishender with the empowering, exactly. So they had the wall hacks, they had the ever
That
draw.
sounds horrible.
Dude,
Wish Unders. I have played so many Trials games, like not a lot at once, but there's been so many in the past where people load in with all Wish Unders, like all 3 people in Trials,
no.
and they're just sitting back watching through the walls. They never won,
Right.
but it's just like a super funny thing to watch. Some people, I've never really seen somebody be good with Wish Under, but it's definitely funny, and
It's I don't know if funny's the word I'm looking for, but it's definitely a play style.
yeah, it is for sure. I mean, it's definitely a really cool thing to have on a team if you have one of them to know where everyone is.
It's gimmicky. That's a
But
great word
3,
for it.
I mean,
Yeah. It's very gimmicky. Speaking of that, wall hacks. This will be our last question from me anyway. Wall hacks. How do you feel about it? Should it even have ever been invented? Is it a cool thing like Kepris, things like that? I know they're banned in scrims. Do you feel that that's a fair ban?
You mean like the spec sniping?
Spec sniping, Kepri sting, where you drop the nade on yourself and then you have
Okay. Yeah.
flawless
So
execution.
I feel like not a lot of people use it. I mean, they do when they can, but
Mhm.
I'm just glad it's banned in scrims. Obviously, if it wasn't, I feel like it'd be more of a problem because I focus on that. But
Right.
as far as like when I'm in trials and things like that, I don't really like point out like, oh, this person is spec sniping. It's broken. So I think it's a really fun aspect to the game. The Kepri Sting thing shouldn't exist, and not a lot of people run it. But I think it's a fun part of the game for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely am
It's-
and I'm sure Nighthawk loves that answer too, because he's 100% a spectral sniper. So,
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Kefri's thing is kind of stupid. I just don't. I don't see spec sniping like that big of an issue, but it also doesn't. I feel like the ping system tells you.
mm-hmm. Yeah, unless they're just crouching and sitting in the corner, which is just a horrid way to play anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kefri seems.
I haven't seen very many used unless like it's not banned in a tournament for some reason. It was missed, and then I do see it a lot. Like if Wishender gets banned but Kepri's isn't, that is one of the times that I do see it, and it's horrible, man. It really is. Just throw a smoke at your feet or melee your opponent, and all of a sudden you're in Ibiz and you have flawless
See people
execution
through
without sniping.
Mhm. I mean, at least it doesn't last like super long for the most part. I'm just glad it doesn't. That at that point I would say it's broken, because when you get wall hacks, you usually only have like a second or two
Yep.
to see them, and you have to play super fast if you want to kill them while you still have wall hacks. So that's probably why I'm okay with it.
Right, it's a quick call out. It's not like I can run across the map and know where you're at.
Yeah, that would not be okay.
Do you think that hunters or not hunters, but warlocks and titans should have something similar, or do you think it should be just for hunters only, as like a specialty perk? Because I mean, if you're in spec, you get the wall hacks. You know, when you pop your super, you can see where everybody is. Do you think they should give that to warlocks and titans as well going forward?
I'm gonna say no, because I feel like the abilities on Warlock and Titan are already better than Hunter. Obviously, the spec sniping and the wall hacks is probably the best thing you could get out of a Hunter as far as abilities and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Warlocks and I no, I don't think they should at all. The wall
Hot
hacks
take, I
for either
love
one
it.
of them.
That'd be rough.
That is a hot take. It would be rough, but it could balance, you know?
Icarus dash across the map, right in front of
Yeah,
you.
no.
Oh, Lord,
No
into the wall.
thanks.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
That was just something that popped into my head. All right, so y'all both have the chats open, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do me a favor, drop your socials in chat. Your Twitter, your Twitch, your YouTube, your OnlyFans, Nighthawk, everybody wants to know if you have claw feet. I've definitely seen that question at least 3 times tonight. Spam them in there. Let's and then chat. I'm expecting you guys to go show some love. Hit that follow button for these two for joining us this week. Follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch, follow the YouTube. I wouldn't have them on here if I didn't think that they were worth watching. So definitely show some love for that, for sure. And then while they're doing that, if you guys have some more questions, we're going to go on a Be Right Back screen. You guys can go get some water, use the restroom, whatever you need to do, and then we'll queue up. I will send you my join code. Finkle, I've already got you. I'm not sure, Nighthawk. But we'll queue up and we'll get some people in.
Sounds good.
Oh my god, there is an OnlyFans.
There's no way that's real. Oh my god.
I swear, if that is a real OnlyFans, you just made my entire day.
Oh, it's real.
It's real.
Oh, hell yeah. We're opening it up right now. It's real. Naked in the light. Feeling cute might delete later. That's amazing. Oh, that's great. That was worth it. All right, chat. If you guys have any more questions, type them in chat, and you guys can answer over mic. You can type in chat if you want. We are switching over to in-game.